It's a beautiful day today and a beautiful day to read some concerning but also fun Reddit stories, and I hope you guys are excited. Story number 1 is called Am I the Gay Hole for Purchasing a Home with a Pool and Triggering My Mother-in-Law? 37 female here. I'm a mother to 7-year-old twins, boy and a 5-year-old girl. My husband and I decided to move back to our hometown so we could be closer to both of our families. Our hometown is a lazy beach town and I've been living in cities since college. It's not my ideal location if I'm being honest, but I am excited about being outdoors and in the water more. My husband and I made a deal that since I agreed to move and find a new job, we'd get a house with a pool, which is something that I've always wanted since I was a kid. It's not actually that serious, but it's something that I've always been excited about since we decided to move. My husband and I found the perfect house, and we're currently in escrow. The house is walking distance from the beach and my parents. Each of my kids get their own room, and there's a pool with a water slide. We're all so excited. Some important context is that my husband was actually the oldest of 4 kids, and the only girl in the family who was also the baby passed away when she was 11. She was swimming with her friends in a lake, got caught in some shrubbery and drowned. It was tragic for the entire family, and I don't get the sense that my mother-in-law has ever recovered. My husband's home is filled with pictures of his little sister. The kids' bedroom is basically a shrine to her, and my mother-in-law gets teary anytime she sees one of my 2 daughters. My mother-in-law has always been kind to me and is a wonderful grandmother, so it's difficult seeing her so sad. Yesterday, my husband and I were FaceTiming with his parents, and I sent them pictures of the house that we were going to move into. My mother-in-law's face went white, and she asked how we could possibly move into a house with a pool with 3 young children. I explained that my kids are all great swimmers, that we've told them there's absolutely no swimming without one of us there, and that we're getting a gate with a lock and an alarm installed around the pool so that they can't go into it without us. My mother-in-law started crying and saying that drowning is the leading cause of death for young people. She also said that she couldn't believe we'd be so reckless with the lives of our 3 beautiful children. My husband tried to calm her down, but she was furious and hung up the phone. My husband now feels terrible and says that we should have thought more about moving into a house with a pool. He's not worried about something happening to our kids because we're going to take proper precautions. He's worried about his mum's mental health. He says that his parents will never be able to come over now because his mum's going to be watching the kids in the pool obsessively. He also said that we're probably not going to be able to do holidays or parties at our house because his mum's going to be even more anxious with all her young grandkids near the pool. I've seen her anxiety around kids in the water firsthand. Once we were at a family get-together and there was a lazy river at the hotel. My 4-year-old nephew who couldn't swim was wearing a life vest and flipped over for about 2 seconds. My mother-in-law jumped in. She was wearing a dress and heels and grabbed him right away. Please tell me if I'm a total a-hole, but I don't think we were wrong to purchase a house with a pool. My mother-in-law has serious trauma, which I understand, but if we listen to all of her worries, our kids wouldn't be able to do anything. For example, our son wants to take surfing lessons, and my mother-in-law is against it because she thinks so much time in the ocean is dangerous. We also put our youngest daughter in swim lessons very early, a bit over a year old, because we want her to be safe and comfortable in the water. My mother-in-law said this was way too young and dangerous, and I said it was a great teacher and I was in the water during the lessons, but my mother-in-law was still furious. All of this to say maybe we were a bit insensitive moving into a house with a pool, but she's triggered by so much of what we do. Am I the a-hole? Any advice would be appreciated. Yeah, okay, that's such a hard situation, but yeah, at the end of the day, no, you're not the a-hole, OP. Like this comment says, your mother-in-law doesn't get to make these decisions. If she chooses to not come to your house, then it's her decision. She desperately needs counseling. Anyone who lost a child would. The top comment says, mother-in-law needs therapy. She's never really dealt with her loss. The comment below that says, yeah, the kids may not understand why grandma is so sad looking at them. That has to be confusing. This comment says, not the a-hole. You made a deal that you'd get a house with a pool, and even aside from that, it's the perfect house. You may not find another house that works for your family the way that this one does. You also can't punish your kids and take away having access to a pool or surfing lessons or swimming on the beach just because mother-in-law doesn't like anything to do with water. She obviously went through something really traumatic that she'll never recover from, but she needs therapy. But also, swimming in a lake that has a lot of shrubbery and swimming in a pool at home are 2 very different things. Stick to your decision. This is where your husband needs to push mother-in-law to get therapy for her grief so that she can cope. Yeah, the comment below that one too, you can't put your lives on hold or otherwise limit them because of grandma's trauma. And that's the line that OP needs to take with the husband. And he needs to endorse that bottom line. Yeah, some sensitivity to grandma, okay. Limiting life choices? No. If one or more of the kids wants to, for instance, competitively swim or start sailing small boats or something, must she or he be prevented from that to satisfy grandma? No going out for crew, no kayaking? Yeah, that's such a good point. You can't stop your life because of this. And yeah, also like that comment said, some sensitivity to grandma? Yeah, definitely. But does that mean that you're not allowed to buy a house with a pool? No. Also, this comment too, you can't live your life just to fit in with them. The number of children killed by vehicles is usually over 3 times the number killed by drowning, so I take it your in-laws walk everywhere? Yeah, that's a really good point. No, you're definitely not the a-hole, OP. The next one's called, am I the a-hole for not planning my wedding around my stepsister's busy schedule? My fiance, 26 female, and I, 29 male, are planning our wedding and we set the date not too long ago. My mum reached out after learning the date and all panicked and told that my stepsister, 27 female, couldn't make it and I should call her up and check different dates to find when it'd work better. I told her that wasn't happening and our date is the date that we've chosen. If my stepsister can't make it, then the world's not going to end. My mum was taken aback by my response. She asked me how I could say that. She told me that a sibling or an immediate family member missing a wedding is a big deal. For background info, my dad died when I was 6 and my brother was 5. When I was 8, our mum told us that she had a boyfriend, and when I was 10, she remarried. Her husband had my stepsister with his ex-wife and they shared custody. Our plans once my mum remarried revolved around my stepsister. Christmas every other year was celebrated at a different time because she was with her mum and not us. Family parties were missed if she wasn't around because mum was pissed at anybody in the extended family who didn't make sure that my stepsister could be there. She would tell my brother and me that we should wait to do something for our stepsister to be there, or she would insist on it and refuse to let us go without her. We resented it, and we did speak up, but mum said immediate family needed to be there for Christmas. I told her that she wasn't my immediate family, so I didn't need to wait. Mum also resented the fact that we weren't with her every other Christmas Eve because we'd be with our paternal family. Court ordered time our grandparents won. She never made everything stop for us though. She'd just tell us that we could choose to be with the family versus going with other people, meaning our family. Over time it got worse with her saying, why did you see so-and-so movie without your stepsister? Why go to the arcade event on this weekend and not wait for this other weekend so she can join too? It was insanity. It really did a lot of harm to our relationship with mum. Neither of us wanted to be forced to plan stuff around her. We had no choice. That's not how things are anymore. Which mum was shocked that I was putting my foot down so strongly about it. She mentioned the immediate family and sibling thing, and I told her I've never once considered my stepsister my sibling or my immediate family, and I'll no longer plan things around her because her attendance is not essential to me. My mum started freaking out on the phone and saying that it would really hurt her stepdaughter and husband's feelings to hear this, and how she wanted us all to be together for something as big as a wedding. She told me that she'd pay the difference for a different day, and I said no. I told her that my days of catering to my stepsister's schedule are over. Mum went nuts on the phone. I ended the call and I'm dodging her calls and texts now because she's mad. Am I the a-hole? Not even a little bit, OP. Your mum is so the a-hole. The audacity to tell you to change the date of your wedding because of your bloody stepsister. Christ. That's so frustrating to even read about, OP. I can't even imagine how it feels for you. Your mum is so in the wrong. And the fact that your mum still feels like she can tell you what to do is hilarious. Yeah, this comment, not the a-hole. Any decision made about a wedding should be up to the people planning the wedding and about those people. You absolutely know that if your stepsister was planning a wedding and you couldn't attend it, that your mum would insist that you put that other event aside. I'm so sorry that this is how your mum continually treated you and your brother. You are important, OP, and you matter. OP said thank you. Yeah, this one too. The mum is putting that stepsister on a pedestal. If they want to come, then they need to change their schedule. OP doesn't have to change the date for them. Yeah, of course they don't. And I'm sure they've got enough time to get ready for the wedding. I'm sure they can work it out, but you should not be getting told by your mum that you need to change the date of your wedding just to accommodate your stepsister. Like that comment said, your mum's been putting her ahead of you forever. It's so sad. And also, I don't really feel like it's that huge of a deal if they couldn't make it. Like you said, OP, it's not the end of the world. But also, it doesn't really sound like any of this is coming from the stepsister. It sounds like you've got a mum issue, not a stepsister issue. And this comment too, heck no, you're not the a-hole. I'm so damn proud of you. Great job, honestly. F your mum for doing that, for real. She's the a-hole. She should never have done that to you. And I'm saying that as a mum of multiple kids. It was wrong. And it probably hurts both relationships. People can be so blindsided. She tried to make a show of being the good stepmom so bad that she became a mum. Good on you for standing up to her and saying what you said. Yeah, and the comment below that too. Yeah, to hear that OP's paternal grandparents had to get a court order to visit their own grandchildren after losing their son speaks volumes as to the mother of OP. Like she wanted all traces of prior family to disappear with his death. Yeah, that's right. Your mum's a huge a-hole in this OP. And it sounds like that's nothing new either. The next one that we're going to read is on the Entitled People subreddit. Someone tried to get me fired for existing. Back in the early 2000s, I was the IT manager for a small company. In May of one year, I hired Robin, the first woman in our department. She was a church friend of many of my team, and he recommended her. I made sure that she met the other team members and gave them time without me present. I not only got his feedback, but I made sure that she had a good vibe from him before I hired her. Everybody got along and things were running smooth for several months. The Friday before Thanksgiving, we had a company get together and everybody's spouses came. That's when Robin met my husband. I left on Saturday for a 2-week vacation, and when I got back, my boss called me before I could even boot up my computer, asking me to come into his office. While I was gone, Robin accused me of sexual harassment. HR did their investigation and said they could find no evidence of it because it never happened, but offered to transfer her to another department and she declined. Oh, she's homophobic, isn't she? Then she said that I was an incompetent manager. My style was to assign projects based on people's skills or interests, or let them decide amongst themselves who was going to do what if it wasn't specific. The other 2 people in the department loved the freedom and the trust. Robin apparently did not. My boss said that she couldn't point out any specific request that she made that I was unresponsive to, nor could she think of any time that I singled her out or treated her differently. The fact that I wasn't micromanaging her made me a bad manager in her eyes. My boss told her that might be new for her, but that was how he did it too, and he'd never heard anybody complain about being trusted too much or given too much freedom. He suggested that she tell me that she needed more oversight. She said that she wasn't comfortable having that conversation, so he offered to do it for her. That's when she said that she couldn't work with me because I'm gay. My boss asked her if I said anything or did anything inappropriate, and she said no. In fact, prior to meeting my husband, she thought I was talking about a roommate when I referred to him. Homosexuality was against her religious beliefs, and she never would have taken the job had she have known. My presence created a hostile work environment for her, so he had to fire me. She was also outraged that my boss dared to call himself a Christian and would accept somebody so blatantly sinful. My boss told her to get over it or quit because he was not firing me over her religious beliefs, so she quit. When I got back to my desk, the guy who recommended her said that she started stirring stuff up at church, trying to get him thrown out of the congregation since he knew that I was gay. He said that the church had several lesbian and gay members and never said anything negative about homosexuality, so he was surprised at her stance. The preacher asked her not to come back. I was blown away by Robin's sense of entitlement. She thought her being an evangelical Christian meant that she got to dictate who a company could hire or who could attend a church. I was thankful that everybody, my boss, HR, my team, even an unknown preacher, had my back. Yeah, oh my god, what a piece of crap. Also, so funny that the preacher asked her to not come back. That's so sad that people can be like this. And the audacity for what she said to HR about you. What she say something about sexual harassment that she made up because she doesn't like you because you're gay? What a giant a-hole. I know we're not on Am I the A-hole anymore, but she's the a-hole. Yeah, this comment, so sorry that you went through this. I'm glad to hear the pastor asked her to not come back. It makes no sense that she thinks lying and trying to get somebody fired are better sins than others, and that she was somehow justified in her actions. I'm so glad that she was sent packing. Also, this comment too. She's confused. It's I can't do that because it's against my religion, not you can't do that because it's against my religion. Sadly, it's become a common misconception. Yeah, she's just an a-hole, and she's not even following her own religion, lying and discriminating and generally being awful. And it's so funny because nobody had her back. Like, yeah, I wonder why. The next one says, am I the gay hoe for locking my girlfriend out of the basement so I could eat in peace? I'm 39 and male. My girlfriend is 41. We've lived together for a bit over a year in my house. During the time that I've lived with my girlfriend, I've become very used to the fact that she really seems to de-stress by complaining. Much of the complaining is about other people in her life, such as her mother and her former co-workers, but much of the complaining is about me and how I'm not meeting her expectations in one way or another. Okay, so before we even go any further, it's really toxic to be around somebody who's always complaining. That can get really hard. I'm generally fine listening to her rant, and I will make all the appropriate motions to show that I'm listening, but a few months ago, her complaining increased significantly in frequency. Again, I'm happy to listen to her, but one time that I don't want to listen to complaining is when I'm eating. Breakfast time isn't an issue because she's still asleep when I eat it, and lunchtime is fine because I work 6 days a week and I'm out for lunch, but I'd really love nothing more than just to have a quiet dinner. It's especially irritating because she gets upset when I don't answer her fast enough, even when I'm chewing. She'll start saying, hello, 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 are you even listening? As I try to swallow the food quickly and answer her. I expressed this to her a few months back. I put it as nicely as possible, with the excuse that I don't do well with talking during mealtime. If anything, it had the opposite effect. I'm convinced that she's actually timing her complaints to begin when I start eating dinner now. When I'm making my dinner, she'll be quiet, and when I sit down waiting for it to cool, she'll be quiet. But once the fork reaches my mouth, she'll immediately start complaining. Last Saturday, I told her that I couldn't deal with her complaining during dinner time anymore, and that if she did it again, I'd start eating elsewhere. She responded, yeah, okay, fine. Then she sat down at the table and stared at me. When I took my first bite, she said, oh, by the way, today you kicked one of my shoes when you were putting yours on. It made me feel like you only care about your own things and not mine. That's a real thing that she said, OP. Oh my god, are you serious? serious? Your girlfriend loves to complain, OP. If somebody's complaining that somebody accidentally kicked their shoe, they must enjoy complaining because that's not a problem. I stood up and I went down to the basement to eat, locking the door behind me. I've taken to doing this every day since, and she'll bang on the door at times. At other times, she's demanded that I give her a key, as I have the only copy. Today, she was crying and begging me to eat dinner at the table, but I said no. Now she's threatening to take the door off its hinges while I'm at work, so now I have to lock it from the outside before going tomorrow. Am I in the wrong here? Please tell me this one's not real. I've been around people that love to complain before, and it is so exhausting. Some people genuinely love it, or it's the only thing they've ever done, so they don't really know anything different. But what it boils down to is somebody that you're around being super negative all the time. You know how that makes you feel? Like crap. God, I hope this one's not real. This comment says, I hope you didn't accidentally kick one of her shoes on your way to the basement. Yeah, was that a joke? Or do you think they actually said that? That OP accidentally kicked one of their shoes when OP was putting on their shoes, and that upset them? What's the underlying issue here, OP? What's going on? Yeah, the top comment, this is so toxic. Please end this ASAP. Yeah, 1,000,000%. It doesn't get much more toxic than that. The comment below that says, why are you with somebody so miserable? I can't imagine listening to somebody complain every mealtime, all day, every day. Are you really going to do this for the next 20 years or more? Yikes, not the a-hole. Yeah, and also, why is she so miserable? What's going on? This comment says, you locked her out of the basement. That's a good first step. Now do the same with the rest of your house. This one says, it's not even about her being miserable. It's more about her engaging in emotional abuse. A partner who constantly complains and blames is abusive. I can completely understand somebody might want to confront a partner for one reason or another at times, but the fact that she decided to go into a tirade about him accidentally kicking her shoe when he put his own shoes on just shows that she'll complain about anything. There's also the fact that even after he asked her to stop for the short time it takes him to eat dinner, she completely ignored him and intentionally timed her complaining for when she knew he didn't want to listen to it. I can't understand why some people in this post seem to think OP's in the wrong. I know this doesn't apply to you, but some people are suggesting that it's his fault. The man's in an abusive relationship. The comment below that says the time to leave was ages ago, but now's the second best time. When somebody threatens to take a door off its hinges, the relationship is over. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm really hoping this one's not real. That sounds so awful. The next one says, am I overreacting? My best friend's new boyfriend threw my homemade cake in the bin on my birthday. I, 25 female, 26 tomorrow, was having a small birthday party of roughly 12 people. My best friend of 13 years, 25 female, invited her new boyfriend, 25 male of 6 months. After singing happy birthday and handing cake out to everybody, 25 male says, the cake is to which I politely ask, since I made it myself a few 2 to 3 days ago, maybe it's slightly old. 25 male then announces, yeah, it's terrible. Oh my god. To which my other friends say, nah, he's joking, it's great. 25 male doubles down and says, no, it's terrible, and loudly dramatically throws his slice of cake into the bin in front of everybody. I asked other people afterwards for their honest opinion of the cake, and people mentioned they liked it, although as this person is my best friend of 13 years, I trust her choice in partners, and maybe what he says too. Yeah, don't do that, OP. Sounds like an absolute a-hole. Am I overreacting for being upset about him saying and doing all that in front of my friends on my birthday about the cake that I made? Or was he just being honest, and should I trust my friend's judgment in partners? That's not being honest. That's being an a-hole. Side note, later on out of nowhere he announces, who wants to do drugs? Or is it one of those parties? I edited the post for clarity. He threw his slice into the bin, not the whole cake. However, he did it loudly and dramatically in front of everybody. He also wasn't drunk or high. My best friend also did not defend me or apologize. In fact, I said, I can't tell whether or not you're joking, and she replied, he's not joking. He doesn't joke about things like this, he's being serious. Neither of them said anything to me about it before they left. OP, your friend also sucks. What the hell? What sort of a giant a-hole goes to somebody else's house on their birthday, gets given cake and says it's crap, and then chucks it in the bin in front of everybody? And for your friend to not even apologize about that or say anything? I would not be trusting your friend's judgment in partners, but also by the sounds of it, the friend's not even that great. Ew. Yeah, this comment, not overreacting. Sounds like he's the one who needed to be thrown in the bin, my friend. Yeah, I can't get over that. And the friend didn't even say anything. Oh, you think you got a good boyfriend there? What are you talking about? How could you even be with somebody like that? And also for the friend to say he's not joking. He doesn't joke about things like this. He's being serious. Like, what friend are you supportive of this bloody gross ass behavior? You don't do stuff like that unless you're a giant a-hole a-hole. Your friend should have been embarrassed, OP. I can't even imagine if I were in your shoes, OP. These people come over to your house, and this guy is acting like this at your place. On your bloody birthday, too. How did you not scream at him and kick him out immediately? Yeah, this comment, I would have thrown him out. 100% same. What a piece of crap. That's so infuriating. Yeah, this comment too, it doesn't really matter whether or not the cake was good. If you don't like something, you simply don't eat it. You don't make a scene of it. So he was only being an a-hole on purpose. It wasn't even about the cake. Yeah, that's not somebody being honest, OP. You didn't overreact, OP. You underreacted. You should have kicked him out. That is so enough for today. I can't take any more of this. That was way too much. We need to read something wholesome. In case you're having a bad day, I printed this special pot for my plant. Oh, that's so cute. Beautiful little Bulbasaur. Hell yeah, OP. Wow, how did you get like that? Every time that I see my wife and I feel my love for her grow, I do one push-up. Jesus Christ. That's so cute too. I'm pretty much always doing push-ups. That's so beautiful. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today. And if you did, make sure you subscribe if you want to. And the comment of the day today goes to Brain Dead Poets Society. I'm not sure what your cats are saying, but it has my cat scandalized. He always looks up like, what did they just say? Oh, that's so cute. I don't know what they said either, but yeah, hopefully it's not something too rude. Your cats are like, what the hell? How did they even say that? How dare you? That's so beautiful. And imagining that is so funny. Thank you for that comment, and I hope your cat's okay. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for all the support, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow in another fun but also terrifying episode. Bye!